Exercise 11, Inventor 2025. In this exercise, we look at the sheet metal functionality, and our intent is to build what you see right there on the screen, which is a flat pattern of a sheet metal part. And in the upper right corner, you can see actually the folded version of it. And so we're going to learn a lot of neat things about this with regards to actually creating the initial geometry, as well as adding hems and flanges and holes and such, and then adding dimensions like you see here on a print. So let's begin. Go to New and select Sheet Metal, IPT. And again, we're in the English US. And just go ahead and hit Create. On the screen here, what we're going to do is we're going to first set up some sheet metal defaults. So over here, if you go to Sheet Metal Defaults, you could set up as what they call rules. And so in this case, I'm going to turn off the thickness rule, 0.120, and I could go ahead and put in 0.062. We'll make it just smaller and thinner. And again, we're in English here, or I should say the imperial units. And there are other options in here. We're not going to go that deep into it as this is a survey class. Go ahead and hit Apply and then Cancel. Now what we're going to do is draw our profile. Let's go ahead and go up here to Start 2D Sketch, select the XY plane, and proceed to draw a circle at the origin in the center. Click and drag it out, and this is going to be 1.5 diameter. You could zoom out a little bit, and then go to the rectangle 2-point center, and find the center here, click, drag this out, and the width will be 3, and hit Tab by 1, and hit Enter. Now what we want to do is we want to open this up, but if we delete this, we lose some parameters. So click on this line, and we want to make it into an innocuous form, basically something like a construction geometry. So click on Construction, and then you could click off of it. You can see it's dashed now, so that will not interfere. Now we could go ahead and go to the Trim tool. And if you just have to be careful here, click and drag through this area. Stay away from the center lines though. You could throw off the symmetry. Go ahead and drag through there, through here, through that, here, as well as there, and finally this little piece here. Okay, and so now that we have our geometry, we could go ahead and hit Finish. And you don't necessarily have to hit Finish these days, but go to 3D Model, or actually go to Sheet Metal, and go to Contour Flange. And you could see the extrusion. And actually, when I trimmed, we lost the dimension. Later on, we'll go back and put that dimension in if I remember. But yeah, you typically want those things dimension. And we're going to go to Distance Mid, and then set it to 1.5 for the thickness. And actually, I'm not sure if that worked. Let's go back to Edit Feature by right-clicking, and it did. Okay. All right, so it's using our rules of the thickness that we put in 0.062. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in something very easy here, a hem. Now with the hem tool, you have single, teardrop, rolled, or double. Let's stick with single here. And then you could set this, the thickness gap and the length and so on. I'm going to go with the defaults and click on the edge that you want it to fold in on. So it's going to fold in on the bottom here. So click here, and you can see the preview ahead of time. Now, if you were to change this to teardrop, you could actually see the preview again. And as you go through rolled, and you can make adjustments to all these. You could have it double even on top of it, which is pretty neat. Okay, let's go back to single. And now if you want to add an additional edge, hit Apply, and now you could select this edge, and it should repeat itself. And you could just hit OK. The next thing we're going to do is add a flange onto here. So if we go to Flange, you could select the edge you want the flange to roll up towards, in this case the top edge. And we could see it took the whole edge, and you have these handles which you could drag, or you could type in an explicit value right there for how far you want it to go. You could also grab this arrow, which allows you to adjust it, and we'll bring it to 65 degrees in this case. And if you want to add additional flanges, like let's say we want one down here, hit this little plus button down here, and I'll select this edge. And we could make adjustments to this as well. So if we want, there's more settings in here that we could deal with and change if we want. Like in this case, we could go with corners, and unfortunately this went off the screen. There's mitered gaps and so on. Unfortunately, you can't see that. My apologies. It's because of my resolution here. But you could hit OK on that too. All right, now one additional thing I think I wanted to find on there. Let's look at some of the additional tools. If you right click on it and go to Edit Feature, there was the we're trying to find. Okay, let's change this and actually make it 0.75 so you can see that it can be different than the other one that we added. And there's other settings in there as well, and as well as the width and so on. So if we click here, we could go and change that as well. And there's also this, which is really nice. There's the relief shape. There's round if you're going to use a punch tool, because sharp edges like this on a punch tool might give it premature wear on the corners. So a straight cut like this actually would be used if you're doing plasma or laser cutting or water jet. And there's tear, and tear is an option that you would typically use if you're working on sheet metal, stainless steel countertops, perhaps maybe for the medical industry, where you would not want the potential for a little gap in the corners, because what that will do, it notches out this area. You can see right here along the edges. And so you have these options, and a tear is a very tight corner versus some of the others. So that's really nice. You have those features there. You could go ahead and hit OK. Now, if you wanted to center a circle on here for a hole, you could select this face and start a sketch. Go to the line tool and change your line to either a center line or construction, whichever you prefer. I prefer construction because I know they're very innocuous, or they're not gonna, you're not gonna usually have any other types of geometry want to be created from it. So go clear across and snap to the edges, and then hit escape, and always be sure to turn it off when you're done, because it does remember it, and then everything you draw thereafter will be construction only. So go here to snap to the center, draw your circle and make it 0.375, hit enter, and you can hit finish. And now we could go ahead and we could do cut, and it cuts through the sheet metal, and we could make adjustments if we wanted, something a little different, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with the defaults. Now you do have corner treatments too. There's corner round. So let's say we want to set that up. In this case, let's say I just want 0.2. And now I could go ahead, I'm just gonna hit enter once and zoom up to this corner here. And then we could rotate with holding the shift button and the middle wheel, click here and hit apply. And I'm just gonna actually hit cancel. Now there's the chamfer corners too. You can click on chamfer, and here we can set the same parameters up. So we'll go with 0.125 actually. And you could do distance to distance, angle to distance, and two distances. So depend upon the information you have. Let's click on corner here, and now select this corner here, and this one over here. Hit OK. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a cutout here, a slot. So to do that, you could go to Start 2D Sketch, and actually, since we don't see the planes and we don't want to sketch on an actual surface, I suppose we could select the surface, but you could go and select the planes as well from the list. But let's go ahead and select this surface. Okay, from here, go to the rectangle tool, and let's change it to center point slot. So hover, you'll find the center here, click, drag it straight through, and we'll set it to 0.9, hit enter, and then drag this out and make this 0.5. And so now we have our slot. And from there, we could go to 3D to sheet metal. You could do a cut, but notice the cut by default only stops through one layer. So you want to make sure you select through all, and you could actually select both sides and hit OK. All right, so now we have our sheet metal part. let's take a look over here. And if we want to create flat pattern, we just go ahead and select it. And there's our flat pattern. Now we could just drop this into a drawing and send it out as a DXF, and it could be fed into pretty much any water jet or laser jet printer or cutting tool. But we're going to make actually a full drawing for it. So let's now go to folded part. And it still remembers, see, it's just suppressed the flat pattern. So it's in there. And now we could just go to save this. And you could save it as E11, hit save. And now go to File and New Drawing. Oh, and actually I don't want that one. I went a little too fast. Let's go to File, New Drawing. And there's specifically a sheet metal one down below here, the C size for flat. And it will actually bring the flat in. But now from this list, make sure you select your part. Yours is probably E11. I didn't save mine as E11. And there it is. It drops it in. There's the flat pattern. And here is the isometric. Now, if we want to change the scale of this, just double click. And we could change that to a 1:1 scale. Make some room, because now we're going to add some dimensions here. Now, if you don't want the dimensions, don't add them. But if you go to annotate, you could go to ordinate and just go to ordinate here. It says to select the location of the origin, click, right? And then from there, now, let's do that again. Well, actually, let's do ordinate set. Select that point, and I'll select the model by clicking and dragging a fence to surround the geometry. And now you right-click and hit continue, and you could either get the vertical dimensions off of this or the horizontal if you drag it high enough. So click, and now we have our geometry. We'll just move this down here, make a little bit more room, and so on. All right, and from there you could save it as a DWG or DXF, and it could be used for cutting out on a water jet or whatever system you're using. And that concludes exercise 11.